guys, welcome back. I'm Stacy Bellward, the host of the Connected Families podcast. Welcome to our community. We are people committed to pursuing God's grace and truth for ourselves and then daily working to pass that grace and truth on to our children. I'm so glad that you are here. Well, we're right in the middle of our back to school content block, and I hope it's meeting you right where you are in this season. If you missed last week's episode, it was a replay all about advocating for your neurodiverse child and preparing for those important conversations with your child's teacher. Well, if that's on your heart, go back and give it a listen. It was very practical. It was a good episode. Today, we're exploring another tender part of the back-to-school journey that many families walk through. It's an audioblog episode today that features one of our most popular blog posts, like by far. It's on separation anxiety. I'll link the original blog in the show notes for you because, hey, here's the good news. There is a lot happening beneath the surface of separation anxiety. And once you understand what's really driving it, you'll feel so much more equipped to help you and to help your little one through these hard moments with growing confidence. That's what we want, right? Not by making the hard moments disappear, but by walking through them together with grace. Okay, well, tearful goodbyes are one kind of hard moment, but maybe you're also walking through something that feels even bigger right now. If your child's intense, angry behavior sometimes leaves you feeling shaken or unsure about your next step, I want to give you a little sneak peek into something that our team has been pouring our hearts into with people like you in mind. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be releasing a brand new mini course. It's called Confidence in Crisis: Navigating Aggressive Behaviors. Two of our Connected Families certified parent coaches, Lydia Rex and Katie Wetzel, have woven the Connected Families framework, trust-based relational intervention, and nonviolent resistance all into one practical, faith-filled online course. It's really good. I was there during the recording. It's designed to help you move from that survival mode feeling to a place of faith, growth, genuine support. It's filled with tools so that when you once felt unsettled, like even maybe in dangerous situations from your family, now you're going to feel confident to make a plan to help your family move forward. Okay, so keep an ear out. I'm going to share all the details about that as soon as it's ready. It's coming in a couple of weeks. I'm excited about it. Okay, but now for today's episode, let's turn back to those difficult goodbyes. If your child struggles with separation anxiety, you know all about the dreaded drop-off, the preschool drop-off, maybe if they're that little. You know about the preamble, the slow dressing, eating, the extra hugs, the little comments from your child about their bellies or fevers, and then comes the drop off. When you drop them off, your child's fear of school, preschool, or daycare just climaxes into excruciating screams. It might sound something like, no, mommy, no, don't go. Your little one wails or fastens to your leg. I remember one mom at drop off, and this is added, she dropped him, but he snuck out the door and just took off up the stairs and ran out of the building, and she went chasing after him. Oh, those are hard moments. I can remember them. Well, you might wonder, why is my child the only one who gets hysterical whenever I try to drop her off? And it can be heart-wrenching and embarrassing to pry your child away from you when they're experiencing such separation anxiety. It's also inconvenient, and you know you need to get on to the next thing. So what can you do to help your child work through this? It's a question that I hear a lot. So you might ask yourself, is it actually normal for my child to cry at daycare or school? Well, first off, yes, it is normal. It's completely normal for your young child to cry at daycare or school, particularly when you drop them off. It doesn't mean you're a terrible mom or dad. It's a combination of solid attachment and God's gift of their brain's protection system. That system is meant to keep them from wandering off from you when it's not safe. Your child may have some extra sensitivity or anxiety, which can make this more intense than it is for other kids. So kids go through predictable phases of separation anxiety. For example, babies often experience separation anxiety around 7 months. This usually improves before their first birthday. Some, not with mine, but with some. And many children have another phase between 18 months and 2.5 years of age. We know all kids are different, but this is what the research in child development says. But that said, it's important to also realize that life changes can bring about new struggles with separation anxiety, regardless of your child's age. Maybe your child never felt separation anxiety as a baby and did great with daycare. Still, it's perfectly normal when they start a new school to suddenly experience the anxiety and an unprecedented fear of school. Likewise, a new baby sibling or a parent's divorce could also trigger the anxiety. All of these things could lead to crying at daycare or school. And there's something else. It's also normal if your child doesn't experience separation anxiety and absolutely loves you to drop them off at school. That doesn't make you a bad mom or a dad either. Strong attachment can actually be the source of exploration and social confidence. So different kids simply respond to life events in different ways. Another question you might be asking, when might separation anxiety signal a need for extra help? Okay, there's times when separation anxiety may hint at a need for extra support. Some children, approximately 4% or 1 in 25, struggle with separation anxiety disorder. With all the recommendations in this blog post, while all of the recommendations that I have for you today and the rest of them that are all in the blog post, they are all applicable to your child if your child has separation anxiety disorder, but you also may need to get additional professional support. More severe separation anxiety in kids can sometimes lead to other adult anxiety disorders unless parents seek professional help. So if you notice your child's anxiety is getting in the way of enjoying life, not just school drop-off, but during the school day as well, or if it's interfering with sleep, for example, due to nightmares about losing a loved one, then it's wise to seek professional help. Okay, let's talk about what actually feeds the fear of school. Here at Connected Families, we've coached numerous parents of kids with separation anxiety, and aside from personality, there are specific underlying issues that can feed it. One of the biggest is family stress. A chaotic family schedule or an outside source of stress creates insecurity and hinders quality, joy-filled attention from a parent. Another is sensory. A child's unique sensory sensitivities can make busy or less familiar environments overstimulating or cause increased anxiety at daycare drop-off or in a new classroom. And then there's a parent's own anxiety or guilt. Our anxiety or guilt about our child's distress at school drop-off can inadvertently send a nonverbal message. You should be upset. I'm doing a terrible thing by leaving you. Well, I want to share a story from a coaching family and how this mom helped her son face his fear of being dropped off. Susie shared that her son Ethan had such intense separation anxiety that her participation in Bible studies and church nurseries was, in her words, an absolute and epic fail. By the time he was 3, Susie and her husband Rob sought out parent coaching for the intense, prolonged crying and clinging. And Ethan had 3 issues going on. There was family stress. His parents utilized several kinds of childcare to manage demanding full-time jobs and unpredictable schedules. There was sensory sensitivities. He was born at 28 weeks, resulting in sensory sensitivities and increased anxiety. And there was parents' anxiety and guilt. His mom felt very badly about Ethan's premature birth and its impact on him. This guilt and anxiety caused her to be filled with angst instead of confidence and joyful connection during separation times. Susie and Rob shifted their primary goal from easing the stress of drop-offs to learning ways to help Ethan feel truly safe. This may seem like a minor shift in perspective, but it's significant because kids can sense the difference in our motivation. They learned to tune into the cues that Ethan would give them when he was becoming overwhelmed, and that helped them find creative and empowering ways to support him using many of the ideas that I'm about to share. Well, today I want to help you develop a thoughtful plan for each of the 3 underlying issues to help your child face their fear of school and childcare more calmly and confidently. But first, I want to go to a break, and when I come back, we're going to go through some of those practical ways so that you can work through a plan. Do the same challenging moments seem to show up every single day in your house? Bedtime that stretches on and on, screen time that turns into a tug of war, chores, meals, and those familiar power struggles that leave everyone worn out. Well, what if those daily challenges could actually become opportunities for your child to grow in confidence? That's the heart of our online course called Healthy Rhythms for Daily Life. When kids know what's coming, they can prepare themselves for it, and that steady rhythm helps them feel more secure. Inside the course, you'll learn how to create a bedtime routine that truly works for your family. You'll get practical tools to find a healthy balance with screens, discover the happiness trifecta that helps chores become less like a chore, and brings joy to the table by easing those mealtime power struggles. Well, it's just $24, and you can watch the lessons at your own pace with a full year of access. Ready to build healthy rhythms in your home? Find all the details in the show notes today. Okay, friends, I'm here after the break, and we're going to go through many practical ideas for separation anxiety. The blog post that this episode is based on has so many more ideas, so you can find the link to that in the show notes. But first, let's start by decreasing overall stress and making life more predictable and connective. To start, try to reduce the frequency and the number of different environments in which your child has to separate by adjusting your schedule if that's possible. The more chaotic life feels, the more threatening separation will seem to a child. And along those lines, choose more controlled and predictable settings, initially anyway, to practice drop-off transitions. To build success, you may want to initially avoid church nurseries or high-energy friends' houses or cousins' house, and instead choose safe, known people until your child is more comfortable leaving you. You can prepare your child with the powerful tool of symbolic play, which helps your child process difficult emotions. When you're playfully engaging your child outside of school, you can reenact a drop-off scenario with your child's stuffed animals, puppets, dolls, or small figures. Give your child space to take over the storyline. Kids might be unable to remember and verbalize how they felt at drop-off, but working through like dollies or puppets, working through their anxiety through that with your warm, reassuring presence can really help your child integrate those emotions in a helpful way. One mom shared how she helped her 3-year-old daughter who screamed and chased after her every day when it was time to line up to go to preschool. She said, I lined up her stuffed animals, designated one as my daughter, and then did a reenactment of what I saw. I asked her how everybody was feeling. The other kids, the teacher, the mommy, the stuffy. That opened up a floodgate of fears she was having about school, and we talked and talked and talked. Then we played out a calm, helpful way to line up at preschool. It has just been a few days after our role play talk, but her anxiety has dramatically improved. Lining up with no tears or tantrums yesterday, she said, yay! Well, consider ways to calm the chaos by adjusting the sensory environment at drop-off. One thing you can do is provide regulating activities beforehand. You might sing a favorite song as you stomp your way into the building. Rhythmic marching and stomping can be very calming for children. Or you might spend a few minutes playing together on the playground first. You could also let your child choose one thing to bring with them each day. Moving through all the different environments to get to preschool or school can be overstimulating and stressful. A transition item is a calming central focus for a child. And it's a double win if they make something to give to their daycare provider or teacher that they're excited about, like a picture or a treat. That builds confidence and connection with the teacher. Another one, consider avoiding arrival at the same time as all the other kids because it can be very overwhelming. Maybe if your schedule allows some flexibility, showing up before or after the entrance stampede and the settling in commotion, that could allow your child to enter a calmer environment. Well, before we jump into the last few ideas, here's something interesting from research. Play and laughter powerfully reduces anxiety. Research in hospitals found that children exposed to the merry jesters were significantly less anxious during subsequent medical procedures, regardless of whether a parent was present, and they experienced improved psychological well-being. So here's a couple of practical ways for you to be the merry jester to help your child feel safe and do well with or without you. One of our favorites is to playfully pursue your child before you leave to help them feel secure and loved. Try a few minutes of play where you pursue your child while practicing separation, such as peekaboo game, chase, or tag, hide and seek, or looking for your child as you pretend you can't see them. Then wildly celebrate finding or catching your child. This communicates, I want you. You are delighted in. When it's time to leave, be calm and lighthearted. Please don't damage trust by sneaking out when your child is distracted. If your child still seems worried, you can smile and peacefully and sincerely say, sometimes it's hard when I leave, but Mrs. Wonders can hold you and soon you'll be having fun. And then pass your child to the arms of a caring teacher who will hold your child until he calms down. It's also helpful to have a transition routine. Maybe it's a hug followed by a high five. Perhaps you have a secret handshake. Or you pray a strong blessing over your child. Whatever it is, keep it fun and fairly short and do the same thing every day. Anxious kids thrive on predictability. And be sure to practice at home first. Now, after you've adjusted your approach, if your child still seems highly anxious at drop-off or shows a general increase in anxiety and challenging behaviors, you may want to reconsider whether preschool is a just right challenge right now. If you have the option to either have a nanny come to your home or simply discontinue childcare or preschool for the time being, that might be the best decision. You can disregard any pressure you may feel for your child to be like all the other kids who love preschool. A little more brain maturity can go a long way. You can focus on those first couple of suggestions and then try preschool again another time. So what does it look like when your child overcomes their fear of school and separation? Well, the effort resulted in Ethan completing 2 years of preschool and entering kindergarten the following fall. And Mom Susie shared some really profound insights. She said, ultimately, I have recognized that this quote-unquote inconvenience of anxiety with our precious son is a sign that he is a deep connector and establishes trust and authenticity with key people in his life. Once he feels known and understood, he can more easily succeed in different environments away from us. Any child that struggles to be released from mom or dad has underlying needs that simply need to be attuned to properly. And when that's done, the child will thrive in a way that builds great confidence and joy. They will be prepared to utilize their deep God-given sensitivity to be highly compassionate to those around them. Well, before we wrap up, let's reflect on how you can help your child's drop-off go better. Instead of being critical and anxious about your child's fear of school, take a moment to consider a few questions. How could you make life more predictable and connective? How could you meet your child's sensory needs for calm environments? How could you let go of your anxiety and connect well when it's time to separate? And how could you help your child channel their God-given sensitivity towards compassion for others? Maybe a nice gift for a teacher or caregiver, or encouraging another student. Trust that God will guide you about what is right for your child. Based on how Jesus treated children, I'm pretty sure he will want to give you wisdom. As it says in James 1:5, if any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. I love that verse. Well, thanks for tuning in today, friends. The link to the full blog post is in the show notes. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with other parents in your community. Text it to them, share the link on social. Well, Connected Families is a nonprofit ministry made possible by The Table and other donors. The Table is a group of people from around the world who are committed to Christ-centered transformation in families. Their monthly giving equips parents and caregivers with biblical and research-informed resources that cut the overwhelm and guide parents well. Would you consider joining us at the table today? For more information about Connected Families, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, or go to connectedfamilies.org. I will see you next time.